Okay, we'll look at some of the homework problems in section 11.4, which deals with more things on angles. In this first one, we want to find the missing angle measure. In this case, you have a triangle. One of the angles is 43 degrees and the other one is 92 degrees. In a triangle, the sum of all the angle measures in any triangle is 180 degrees. So we know we're going to have to take 180 and subtract from it the sum of these two angles, 43 plus 92. Well, 43 plus 92 is 135. So now you have 180 minus 35. And 180 minus 35 will give you 45. So the missing angle, which is called angle X here in this case, would be 45. Problem number 2. The ratio of the measures of two supplementary angles is 1 to 14. Find the measure of each angle. Okay? It's 1 to 14, so that means if I let x be whatever the angle that I'm looking for, 1x, 1 is going to be 1x, to 14 would be plus 14x. And it's supplementary, that means that the sum of the two angle measures must equal 180 degrees. And then if you add 1x and 14x, you're going to get 15x is equal to 180. And then divide by 15, you're going to get x is equal to 12. Okay? Now, I'm letting 1x be the first angle measure. So 1 times 12 would give you 12. That's the measure of the smaller angle, which is 12. And then the second angle was 14x. So it'd be 14 times 12 would be 168. So the measure of the larger angle is 168 degrees. Okay. Problem number 3. In a regular polygon, the measure of each interior angle is 150 degrees. How many sides does the polygon have? Okay, now let's see how this is going to work out. Because in this case here, the interior angle of a polygon has a measure of 150 degrees. Okay, now the sum of the interior and the exterior angle, the interior angle plus the exterior angle equals 180 degrees. That's the sum of the interior and the exterior angle equals 180 degrees. So in this case here, the interior is 150 degrees. That exterior angle must equal to, well, what's this missing angle that we're looking for? That's 30 degrees. So the exterior angle is 30 degrees. So for each exterior angle in a regular polygon, it's 30 degrees. And we're going to let n be the number of sides. And there is a theorem that says here that the sum of all the exterior angles in that particular regular polygon is 180 degrees. Or in any polygon is 180 degrees. So here, you have 30 for an exterior angle, and then you're trying to find out the number of sides, so it's 30 times n equals 360. And then you're going to divide by 30 to find out what n is. N is going to equal to 12. So there are 12 sides in that particular polygon. I should say regular polygon. So the polygon has 12 sides. Okay. So what I was using was the fact that the interior and the exterior angle has a sum of 180 degrees. Okay. Because here, if you think of a polygon like this, here's an interior angle. Extend this, you have the exterior angle. The sum of those two has to equal to 180 degrees. So if one interior angle is 150, the exterior has to be 30. Problem number 4. In the following figures, find the measures of the angles marked X and Y. And you're told that, in this case, angle A is 35 degrees in this first figure. Here's angle A, that's 35 degrees. Okay, we can use the concept of finding out what angle X is. The concept of vertical angles means that vertical angles are congruent. So angle A and X are vertical angles. They're equal to each other. So if angle A is 35 degrees, angle X must be 35 degrees. So here angle X is 35. And to find out what angle Y is, that's up here, I'm going to use the fact that the sum of all the angles in this triangle is 180 degrees. So we'll do 180 minus, that box tells me is a 90-degree angle, minus the other 35, and that's going to give me 55 degrees. So angle Y is 55 degrees. Okay, and this next one, here's angle B right here. That's 84 degrees. That's given to you. Now I'm going to use the fact that all of this, along with the X and the 5X, that angle right here forms with this angle being vertical angles. They're congruent. So if angle B is 84, then 5X and X must be 84. So my equation is 5X plus X equals 84. 5X and 1X is 6X equals to 84. Divide by 6. X is equal to 14. So X is equal to 14 degrees here. Okay. All right, the next set of problems look like this. Angle C is 45 degrees. So here's angle C up here. That's 45 degrees. And angle D down here is 71 degrees. And you're told that EF is parallel to GH. Here's EF down here and GH going across. Those two are parallel to each other. So in this case, we want to find out what angle X and angle Y is. Let's look at angle X and angle C. Those two look like they're corresponding angles. And one of the properties of corresponding angles when you have two parallel lines cut by a transversal, that means that the corresponding angles are equal to each other. So in this case, if angle C is 45, then angle X must also be 45 degrees. Okay, so here angle X, that's 45 degrees. We can find out what angle Y is by using the fact that the sum of all the angles in this triangle below is equal to 180. So if the triangle is 180, then angle Y must be the measure of angle D, which is 71, minus X, which is 45. So 180 minus 71 minus 45 will leave me with 64. So angle Y, here's angle Y, that's 64 degrees. Okay, so 64 degrees for angle Y. Okay, this next figure tells me that angle E is up here. That's 36. Angle F is out here. That's 135. We want to find out what angle X is. Okay, compare angle E with this angle on the inside. Those are vertical angles. They're equal. So if angle E is 36, then this angle right here has to be 36. And then I'm going to compare angle F, which is 135, with this angle here. If that's 135 and the sum of these two angles is 180, then this angle that I have pointed here, that's going to be 45 degrees. And then I'm going to look inside this triangle right here. The sum of all the angles in that triangle is 180 degrees. So let's take 180 minus 45 minus 36. Let's see, 180 minus 81 we give you 99. So this angle here is 99 degrees. Now compare that with angle X. Those are vertical angles. They're equal to each other. So if this is 99, then angle X must be 99 degrees. Okay. So usually you're going to have to use a lot of intuitive thinking and some of those properties that were talked about in one of the lecture videos to solve these types of problems. Okay, problem number 5. Find the measure of angle X in the figure. Okay, now in this case here, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 angles. That tells me that this is a 7-sided figure, which is a heptagon. So that's n is equal to 7. Now I need the sum of all the angles in this particular heptagon. So I'm going to use this formula, n minus 2 times 180. And that's going to be, n is 7, so it's 7 minus 2 times 180. 7 minus 2 is 5 times 180, which will be 900. So the sum of all these angles in this particular heptagon is 900 degrees. I need to subtract from it the sum of these 6 angles to find out what angle X is. So I have 131, 128, 137, 129, 132, and 120. Add those together, you're going to get 777. So 777 minus 900 degrees, well, 777 from 900 will leave you with 123. And that's what X is. X is that missing angle, 123 degrees. So angle X measures 123 degrees. Problem number 6. Here we have ABDC is a trapezoid where AB is parallel to CD. We want to find the measures of angles X, Y, and Z. Now they don't have to be done in any particular order here, but let's start off with angle Y. And then I'm going to compare that with this angle that's 57 degrees. AB is parallel to CD, and the transversal is AD. Angle Y and the 57-degree angle, those two angles are alternate interior angles. And of course, when you have two parallel lines cut by a transversal, that means that the alternate interior angles are equal to each other. So if this angle is 57, then angle Y must also be 57 degrees. So here angle Y measures 57 degrees. Now, let's do angle X. Okay, this part right here, ABD, is a triangle. And the sum of all the angles in that triangle is 180 degrees. And that box tells me it's a 90-degree angle, so I have 180 minus 90 minus 57. That's going to give me what X is. So 180 minus 90 is 90. 90 minus 57 is 33. So angle X is 33 degrees. So angle X has a measure of 33 degrees. Okay, now we can find the measure of angle Z. Look at ACD. That's this triangle down here. Again, the sum of all the angle measures in that triangle is 180 degrees. So you have 180 minus 49 minus 57. So I'm thinking this is going to be 180 minus 106, which will give you 74. So that's what Z is. So Z has a measure of 74 degrees. Okay, problem number 7. Find the measure of angle X. Okay, I'm going to do it the long way so you can see where we're going to go with this. Let's take a look at this triangle here. The sum of all the angles in that triangle is 180 degrees. So here, Y is going to be 180 minus the 47 minus 66. So 180 minus 47 minus 66 is 67. So angle Y has a measure of 67 degrees. Now let's compare angle Y and angle X. Both angle Y and angle X form a straight line. And in a straight line, that angle measures 180 degrees. So to find X, you're going to do 180 minus 67, which will give you 113. So angle X has a measure of 113 degrees. Okay. Now let's look at this next question. The measure of an exterior angle of any triangle equals... Okay, now let's look at this. Here's the exterior angle right here. Now, if you add the two angles here, the 47 and the 66, you would get the 113, which I came up with doing it the long way. So there is a theorem or a property that says here the exterior angle is always equal to the sum of the two remote interior angles. Okay, so here the sum of the measures of the two remote interior angles will always equal to the measure of the exterior angle of that triangle. And it can be for any triangle. Okay, so this should assist you with the homework problems in section 11.4.